Hey everyone, welcome to my very first video about Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. I'm Flashover and I bring you 7 tips for beginning of a campaign or sandbox. Why? Well, let me share with you something that happened with a group of friends. All 7 of us began to play the game. Only 2 of us could really make some progress. 4 quit and the other one had to recur to hacks. So maybe the game is a little too hard, especially for players that are used to just left click and do ultra combos and wipe out entire armies for themselves. So this being said, let's start. Alright, let's create a character to show the example. And here we can already start thinking. The first tip is think about your main composition in your army, alright? And the first enemies you will engage. Because of the perks you will choose while you upgrade your weapon masteries will give you and your men an important advantage when the time to fight comes. And with the first enemies I mean, for example, if you're gonna fight Crusades, because they have a lot of cavalry, you will need your footmen to have spears to be able to face them. Or they are gonna run over you like grass. If you've seen the movie Braveheart, you will know what I mean. Now, this video is mainly for players who already have an experience in this game. If you don't, I strongly recommend you to don't skip the tutorial, okay? This game has a unique kind of combat. Go ahead and try all different weapons, alright? How to attack and defend with them. You will find it very much like fencing. Once we begin the campaign, the second tip is gonna be recruit volunteers at the nearest town or cities as soon as possible, around 10 or 15 of them. You see, your character has no scouting skills to move around, your horse is lame, so you're gonna encounter bandits with higher movement speed and they're gonna be dangerous or at very least inconvenient for you. Even if you're a veteran of this game and you believe you can handle them, remember, your character has no masteries whatsoever, so he will probably won't respond to you as you would want to. He's gonna be slow in this fight. And another thing, check your equipment. Your equipment is in the beginning, you might need something that you lack of. For example, a bow or a shield. This brings us to the next tip. Get the equipment you need to defend yourself, especially items you won't get in tournaments like bows, crossbows or a shield. Remember the relation between your equipment and your armies. If you can match them to better take advantage of weapons perks, that would be great. And believe me, the lack of a ranged weapon or a shield can really complicate things when it's time to defend yourself from bandits, especially in the beginning. Now, there are a lot of playstyles, traders, fighters, vassals, and so on. That's the beauty of this kind of game. To all of them, I would recommend to participate in tournaments. This way you will pump up masteries, you will get equipment for you and your companions, or boost a little your economy when you get the same kind of item more than once and you sell it. Take in consideration that different kingdoms differ in the weapons they use in tournaments and the kind of equipment they give as a prize. Perhaps you should go to the kingdom according to your interests and where the kind of combat is more comfortable for you. You will see the orange helmet in the right side of the city's names. Sometimes you can find 2 helmets, meaning that here are going to be several tournaments, so you can stay there and participate in many of them. Well, as you can see in the gameplay, I was unlucky in finding recruits and equipment. I didn't cut off this part of the video cause I wanted to show you precisely what I'm talking about earlier. I got a better horse and a shield, but couldn't find cheap arrows, so I left the city with only that and 3 recruits. And see what happens. See what I'm talking about, their speed? They will catch you in a blink. And if you take a look at this fight, you will see the importance of the new hordes to be able to charge, and of course the shield to resist the rocks they are throwing at me.
Soldier! Loose formation!
Now let's move on to the next tip. This one is about playstyle. According to this, you will need to adjust your equipment and your men. Also consider your move speed. For example, if you're a trader, you will need to be able to defend yourself from bandits, because your move speed is gonna be low sometimes because of the load you're carrying, and bandits sometimes join to attack you. If you prefer to participate in tournaments, it's better to have few men on horseback to be able to move quickly between cities and to avoid certain bandits. If you take these things in consideration, you will have better results. Alright guys, now let's speed up the gameplay and talk about the next tip. Tip number 6 is about economy. Now, I'm not talking about just what you're gonna do. You're gonna trade, you're gonna smith, you're gonna do caravans, and those basics are already told too many times. I'm talking about synergy with your playstyle, because you have to consider, your weapon masteries to create your army, alright, and pump up your army with perks. You have to do the same with your playstyle and your economy. Because if you're gonna be a trader, for example, you better have a small party of men, and you also as well could go around trading and competing in tournaments. So you're gonna move up faster than other kinds of economies. For example, let's say you like to assault caravans. If you like that, because of the action, because of the money, well, that you better have at least 60 men, well trained, well equipped, and you need to be fast, but it's not the same like the trader. The trader is gonna have a smaller party and a cheaper wagers, not like an army prepared to assault caravans. And if you're gonna do smith, for example, if you like to be smith, you better be a mercenary or a vassal, all right? Because of the loot. In your loot, you're gonna find items tier 4, tier 5, items you won't find otherwise. So this is gonna pump up your smithing skills a lot. You're gonna find steel and fine steel. Alright, and it's gonna be way better to be a vassal to fight battles and get those kinds of loots. Will help you get better materials to sell or to forge, and more designs, because the higher the tier of the item you smelt, the higher the probability to get designs. Alright, with these 6 tips is pretty much everything covered, at least for the very beginning of the campaign. And tip number 7 would be research. You see, every time I play this game, every time I learn something new, and I play it a lot because I love it, and has a lot of interesting and complicated topics, right? Not just military strategy or that sort of things. So keep on doing this you are doing right now, alright? Let me know in the comments if you're interested in something in particular, because I keep asking around about this to continue making videos about this game. So forgive me, please forgive me for my lame English. It's not my native language, so I do the best I can right now. I hope this was helpful, and see you next time, guys. Regards from Uruguay.